And before I get into this lecture, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters and everyone for supporting my YouTube channel. You know, my YouTube channel is a little over 5 years old, and it has been a tremendous journey. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is you are an independent contractor if your YouTube channel is monetized. You know, my channel is down for over 3 years. And once your channel becomes monetized, to validate that you are considered an independent contractor by YouTube, because at the end of the year, YouTube will send that content creator, you're going to get your 1099 statement at the end of the year. And I've gotten 3 of them. Get that 1099 statement at the end of the year from YouTube to reflect the amount of money you made for the whole year. And I tell anyone, you know, even before I became a content creator, you know, as a content creator, it's just something I do under my company, Patterson Associates Resource Center. But my primary service that I do under my company, and I've had my company simultaneously throughout the workforce. You know, I fully retired September 2023, but my last 25 years in the workforce, I simultaneously made money under my company, utilizing my clinical credential as an expert in the field of addiction. So now, since I'm fully retired, I still make money utilizing my credential under my company. So that's my primary stream of income under my company, and then revenue from my book sales is another stream of income. Revenue that I make as a content creator, as an independent contractor, is just something else I do to generate another stream of income under my company. So I say this to say, you know, if your channel is monetized, you're getting that 1099 at the end of the year from YouTube, just like me. So that validates, that is evidence you are an independent contractor. YouTube is paying you money every month to create content. And there's a lot of the stipulations and guidelines under that. No different from if you go out as an entrepreneur and get a contract with a stakeholder. You have to abide by those guidelines of the stipulations of that contract, or you will lose it. You know, if your channel is monetized and you're independent contract and you're getting paid by YouTube, you know, it's evidence that you are a independent contractor. If you violate those community guidelines, YouTube will shut your channel down. And guess what? When they shut your channel down, you don't get paid anymore. You lose that money. You are not getting paid. So that's why I've had this discussion before. Because you are considered an independent contractor, I've always had the mindset in my 41 years working in the workforce, my last 25 years simultaneously generating money under my company all the way up until I retired. But I have said this before. I tell any content creator, anybody, you ain't even got to be a content creator, it does not make good business sense to rely on one stream of income. I ain't never in my entire working adult life, 41 years working in the workforce, fully retired September of 2023. I'm gonna have multiple retirement checks hit me for the rest of my life on top of being a veteran. So I don't even know what it feels like having one stream of income. So whether or not YouTube pay me or not, that ain't gonna stop my retirement checks and money coming from, I'm generating revenue under my company. YouTube ain't got nothing to do with that. My company, 25 plus years strong. And I tell people from a business standpoint, do not, especially if you are a content creator and you only got that one source of income, that is a bad decision move, because you do not want to base your livelihood on a YouTube check. And let me tell you why. Because the amount of money you make as a content creator can fluctuate. I can speak for that. You know, it don't matter what amount of money I make from YouTube on a monthly basis. It I don't even I reinvest that money. But make no mistake, I'm not basing my livelihood off a YouTube check. I don't pay any of my bills off a YouTube check in any shape, form, or fashion, because we are considered an independent contract. Number one, your revenue can go up and down, but your bills in your household ain't gonna fluctuate. There's certain bills as a full-grown adult you're going to have to pay: your rent, your mortgage, your car note, your car insurance, taking care of your kids, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That ain't changing. So to me, why would you want to set yourself up for failure by, you know, it became popularized the past few years. You know, a lot of these individuals coming in front of these platforms talking about, oh, quit your day job and just do YouTube full time. Really? Really? What if you, because your income fluctuating, what if you haul off and quit your job because your channel's monetized and you're considered an independent contractor? What if you wake up one morning and YouTube shut your channel down? They can do that. You are in their house. They can shut your channel down. So if that was your only source of income and they shut your channel down, guess what? Your money gone. Because when they shut the channel down, you ain't making no money. Then what? How are you going to pay your rent, your mortgage, your car note, your car insurance, take care of your kids, your cell phone bill, food, and the list goes on and on, people. You know, and that's why I tell people, as an independent contractor, you got to embrace that business model, abide by those community guidelines, develop your mission, goals, and objectives for your YouTube channel. You know, not just your mission, goals, and objectives for your YouTube channel, but your mission, goals, and objectives for any other products and services and goods that you're generating revenue under your LLC, if you got one. So I say that to say, you got to embrace that business model. You got to have that mindset as an independent contractor, monetized to YouTube content creator. You know, just consider that as another stream of income, because that's all it is. It's just another stream of income. And, you know, and I tell folks, if you're stepping up in front of these platforms with just the primary focus, oh, I'm going to make a whole lot of money, you in the wrong business. Because my channel over 5 years old, when you've been monetized for over 3 years, when just because you get monetized, you still got to get your channel to a stratosphere where you begin to reap the benefits of all of your hard work. Because where the real money is, once your channel's monetized, when you start getting those brand deals, people, but you got to do the footwork. You got to do the blood, sweat, and tears. You got better have a mission, goals, and objective for your YouTube channel. Because if you don't have a mission, goals, and objective for your YouTube channel, if you don't have a strategic plan for your YouTube channel, how are you going to measure the progress of your channel? How are you going to measure that? I'm a little baffled. And I've been strategic all my life. I don't know no other way. But this is one of the topics I love talking about, because from a business standpoint, I align myself with a very good certified public accountant. I've aligned myself with very good financial advisors for the past 25 plus years I've been in business. That's nothing new for me. So if you are a monetized channel, you better be keeping excellent records. You better align yourself with a good certified accountant and financial advisor. You better have a purpose for that money. You need to be reinvesting that money, and don't rely on that money to pay your bills. And I've said this before, because I'm telling you again, we are considered independent contractors by YouTube, by evidence they sent us this 1099 at the end of the year, reflect our income that we made for the whole year. This is my third one I got. My channel's been monetized a little over 3 years, and I've always had the mindset, whatever money I make or don't make from YouTube, I just reinvest the money. I'm not depending on that money to pay the bills. I'm not waiting on that money to hit my bank account in any shape, form, or fashion. And that is the mindset that you should have. You should not be so into this business, oh, because I just want to make money, and let that be your primary focus. Your primary focus, my primary focus for my channel is to make sure I'm presenting thought-provoking, especially when I'm in front of these cameras doing these lectures. I do my video catalog is 10,000 plus videos in my catalog. So, but there's certain types of videos I do, like this lecture. Well, when I'm doing a specific topic, when I'm getting in front of these cameras, I'm spitting truth, people. I ain't sugarcoat nothing. I'm ready to get down to business, because what ties into my mission, goals, and objective for my YouTube channel, one of my main primary mission, goals, and objective is to deliver thought-provoking, motivational, educational, inspiring, useful information to the world, and that's it. I ain't coming in front of these cameras to win no popularity contest. You know, I acknowledge my supporters. You know, I appreciate everybody chiming in. But one of my styles is, and I've always had this style, it's working for me. You know, one of the things I don't do, because it will slow down my deliverance, is I'm not going to go be back and forth responding to these comments. I am going to acknowledge my supporters. And the reason why I don't do that, because it slows down my deliverance. It can easily turn a 20-minute or 30-minute lecture into 2 hours. And that's eating away from my downtime, because you got to keep a balance. I've had a lecture on that, the importance of a content creator in terms of maintaining a balance. You got to have a cutoff. And when I finish this lecture, I'm going to cut it off and move on with the rest of my evening. Cameras ain't rolling on Marie Holiday 24/7. You know, I do a lot of travel abroad. You know, when I did traveling abroad to Cairo, Egypt, to Rome, Italy, and seeing many of those 7 wonders of the world, I did limited live footage of inside the Valley of the Kings, the Great Pyramids, riding on the biblical Nile River in the Vatican. That was breathtaking and life-changing. So there's a catalog of my videos as a content creator where I did limited live footage. And you know what? Because my channel is monetized, and I get that $10.99 at the end of the year, all of the money I spent to travel abroad, guess what? It's a 100% business write-off as a content creator. And that's the purpose of having that CPA, aligning yourself with a certified public accounting. So when I'm traveling abroad all over this world, it's gonna, you know, I'm doing it for me, but at the same time, because I'm a content creator and my channel is monetized, so all of that money I spend when I'm traveling abroad, I'm keeping all my receipts and etc. And when I get ready to itemize all of my expenses throughout the year as a businesswoman, all of that traveling abroad, because I am a content creator and my channel is monetized, is a 100% business write-off. Real talk, people. And that's the business side. See, a lot of people, a lot of these content creators, they don't want to talk about that business side of the what behind what you do. They don't want to talk about the importance of aligning yourself with a certified public accountant, aligning yourself with those financial advisors, talking about the purpose and the reason to having that strategic business plan with goals and measurable objectives and projected due date in relation to your YouTube channel, and so you can measure your progress. That's the business side, people. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about, if you are a content creator and your channel's monetized and that's your only source of income, which to each his own, but if that's your only source of income from a business standpoint, your behind better be investing into a 401. You better be aligning yourself with a financial advisor. You better be paying into your Social Security. You're gonna have to buy into your own 401. You're gonna have to purchase your own medical insurance, life insurance, dental insurance for yourself and your family. See, people ain't talking about that. Because if you ain't got no primary W-2 job to offset from being a content creator, that channel's monetized, then all of those benefits that you would have gotten on a full-time W-2 job in terms of retirement, stock options, medical, dental, all of that you would get on the job, and you're building that pension, then if you ain't got that primary W-2 job, then all you are is an independent contractor for YouTube, then it is up to you to purchase all of that on your own. Because if not, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna create financial destruction. What if you get sick or your child gets sick? They need to go to the dentist or the hospital. You ain't got no medical insurance. You ain't got no dental insurance. And I mean, it's so much behind this powerful 1099, people. There's so much behind this powerful 1099. If that's your only source of income. You know, I get 3 pensions for the rest of my life. I'm a veteran. I get medical for the rest of my life. I get medical for my retirement plan from the state of North Carolina. I don't see a medical bill. Never have, never will. So all of that, I got all that in place, but at the same time, simultaneously, this past 5 years, because at one point when I was in the workforce, I was simultaneously still getting up and going to work on my career job in a content creator simultaneously. I wasn't going to quit my career job because I was too close to retiring. What do I look like quitting my retirement job just because I'm a content creator? No, I fully retired September 2023. And so now, since I'm completely out of the workforce, that frees me up not just to do content, but that also frees me up so I can focus on continuously generating revenue under my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, with those other 3 services that I generate money under that ain't got nothing to do with YouTube. I got a little more time to do it now. So again, if you are a 1099 monetized content creator, you are considered an independent contractor by YouTube. By evidence, we get this powerful 1099 at the end of the year to reflect the amount of money we made as a content creator for the whole year. To me, it's basic business 101. And if you're trying to do this because you're just money driven, I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna last. You got to have a higher purpose. You got to have a mission, goal, and objective for being a content creator. You got to know the what behind what you do as a content creator. And this is real talk, people, because the main concept, and it's indicated in my mission, goals, and objective, the main concept of my channel, and it's in my description piece, the main concept of my channel is I'm going to educate the world on that money piece, that financial piece, how to rise above your financial situation. That's a core concept. Yeah, I may talk about other topics, but I'm going to always revisit topics in relation to the main concept of my channel, that money piece, how to rise above your financial situation, to share my experience, because from 2007 to 2012, I was living in financial destruction, and God gave me the skills to rise above that, people. And I make it my business to share some of those tips and strategies that work for me to rise above my financial situation, to be able to fully retire at a young age in September of 2023, exiting up out of this workforce forever, with multiple retirements hit me for the rest of my life. And I want to give all grace and glory to the Almighty God for awakening me and giving me those skills. Back then, God gave me the skills to write my manuscript to my book, Awake Financial Freedom. And that book hit all major bookstores well over 4 years ago. But I can clearly remember, that financial destruction that I was in. And nobody in this world could have told me that I would be having this conversation today, not ever having to work another day as long as I live, people, real talk. And because I got 2 master's degrees, I'm well credentialed. Only thing college taught me, only thing graduate school taught me was how to get in debt. That's the only thing college taught me. School loan debt, credit cards debt, debt after debt after debt. That's the only thing college taught me. It took me going through financial destruction, 5 years of financial destruction from 2007 to 2012, in my spiritual battle that I had with God. And when I woke up out of that 24-hour spiritual battle with God, the transformation of Marie Holiday occurred way back in 2012. And the rest is history. And I have a niece of mine, I tell her, it is power. And this is real talk, people. I don't know too many people, regular people like me, regular everyday people like me in full retirement. September of this year make 3 years I've been in full retirement. All of my pension money that I've been getting for almost 3 years, strategically have been able to reinvest 100% of my income into another retirement account. I don't know too many people who don't even need their retirement income going on 3 years. I have not touched the money, don't need the money. I'm working with my financial advisor, and I'm in a position where I'm able to reinvest 100% of my retirement income in full retirement, people. And one of the key reasons I'm able to do that, because 10 years before I retired, I sat my behind down and wrote down a strategic plan 10 years before I retired on some steps that I had to take to be ready for retirement prior to exiting up out of this workforce. And the main thing I wrote down is I will be debt free prior to my retirement of September of 2023. And when September of 2023, I was debt free about 3 or 4 years before I retired. And when I say debt free, let me break this thing down to you, rural, on my interpretation and my understanding of what debt free is in my life. What I mean by debt free, rural, is I have no rent, I have no mortgage, I have no car note, I have no school loans, I have no personal loans, I have no credit card, I have no medical bills, I have no real bills in any shape, form, or fashion. And it's been that way for years. The totality of the little bit of bills I do have in this world, and it's been this way for several years, is less than $400 per month. That's the totality of my monthly bills, people. And that's my cell phone bill, that's my light bill, that's my bottled water, and that's my food. My light bill is about $50 a month. The totality of all the bills I have in this world, and it's been this way for several years, is $400 a month. So what that does is that gives me more disposable income on a continuously monthly basis, where I'm in the position where I can reinvest all of my retirement income, 100% of that, into another retirement account. Then money I make under my company, I'm reinvesting most of that. So the little $400 I have in monthly bills, I can pay that without even batting an eye. That's power. Graduate school did not teach me these skills. Graduate school taught me how to get in massive debt to the point where I was living in financial destruction from 2007 to 2012. But when I had that spiritual battle with God and woke up after a 24-hour battle with God, the rest is history. And I will be forever grateful for God giving me these skills and understanding the power of generating multiple streams of income, and understand the importance of mastering your money, controlling your money, and respecting your money. Real talk, people. This thing is real. And I'm telling you again, there's power in multiple streams of income. If your channel's monetized, don't let that YouTube check be your only source of income. That is a recipe for financial destruction. Real talk. Share this information. Somebody might need to hear this information. Hype this lecture, because like I said, when I get in front of these cameras on my lecture, I come for one purpose: to deliver and to get down to business. Again, I want to thank all of my supporters, everybody chiming in. I'm really excited in regards to the direction God is going to take my channel. I think I got over, I don't even keep counting anymore, 424,000 subscribers. I don't even keep counting anymore. But I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of days ago in the natural environment. I've been knowing Linda for probably about 30 years, long before the rule of YouTube. But I literally told her, and me and her came up through the trenches together. I told my best and only friend that I can clearly remember, like it was yesterday, I can clearly remember when I only had 2 damn subscribers. 2. I can clearly remember when this channel had 2. I was one and my daughter was the other. 2 subscribers. And during that time, the criteria to get monetized, you had to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within a 365-day time frame. My channel had 2 subscribers. After the first year of my channel, a solid year, no lie, at that point, after going into my second year, I only had 100 subscribers. It took me well over a solid year to get 100 subscribers. And I'm thinking, ain't no way in the world my channel ain't gonna ever get monetized. I need 1,000. And I think I had 50 watch hours. I'm thinking, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be able to meet these criteria. There's no way in the world. So going into the second year as a content creator, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I had to shift my mindset. When I shift my mindset and start developing that strategic plan for my YouTube channel on paper, the rest is history. Now my channel is literally in a whole nother stratosphere. You know, brand deals, or I don't even keep up with anything anymore. All I do is do what I do as a content creator. And see, that's what happens when you're not money driven. That's what happens as a content creator when your focus ain't just on dollar signs, because you understand and got the mindset. Whatever money you make or don't make as a content creator, just as another stream of income. You ain't dependent on this money to pay your bills and your livelihood. So that frees you up to really focus on what you need to do as a content creator to develop your channel, to cultivate your channel, to enhance your channel, and all of the above. So going into that second year when I only had like 100 subscribers, I literally had to shift my mindset and get down to business and focus on that strategic business plan in relation to my YouTube channel. And then finally, after 2.5 years, my channel got monetized. And thereafter, literally, I'm gonna tell you when my channel went into another stratosphere. When I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt in 2023, I was in Italy and Rome in 2024. But I can remember in 2023, I took as a content creator, and I was going to go to Cairo anyway, even if I wouldn't have been a content creator. But I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt in 2023 after I retired, and it was breathtaking. It was I think about 10 people in that guided tour. Throughout that time in Africa, we went to many of the 7 wonders of the world within Cairo. We went to the Valley of the Kings, the Giza Pyramid. And in reality, people, if you ever go to Cairo, you know, the world just know those 3 big pyramids that they showcase. But in reality, when you go out there are 9 pyramids, people. They don't showcase those other 6. But when I took that guided, it was a spiritual journey. When I had the opportunity to walk inside of the Valley of the Kings, check out a lot of my popular videos. I did a lot of live footage on my tour to Cairo, Egypt. Check out a lot of my popular videos that literally went viral. So when I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt, that piece there, for whatever reason, pushed my channel into a whole nother stratosphere. I looked up, I had 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 subscribers. That piece there, when I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt, I did live footage when we were riding on the biblical Nile River in Cairo, Egypt, and I felt the presence of God riding on that biblical Nile River, walking inside of Ramsey 1 through 9, walking inside of those pyramids and touching those hieroglyphics. It was breathtaking to be able to have the resources and the passion to stand before those structures, those pyramids that predates Christ, people. It was breathtaking. In meeting people from all over the world, cross collaborating, tapping into those international markets. When I did that in 2023, and returned back to the United States, that was the catalyst that pushed this channel. And now I want to give glory to God, first of all, but that was the catalyst that pushed Marie Holiday channel into a whole nother stratosphere, and the rest is history. My channel literally has a life of its own. I'm grateful and thankful that, I get in front of these cameras and do lectures based on guided by the Spirit. It's a beautiful thing. You ain't got to worry about anything. You ain't got to worry about whatever amount of money you make or don't make. You ain't worried about no watch hours. You ain't worried about no subscribers. You ain't worried about no members. None of that. None of that. All I focus on is being a content creator. That's the position, to me, that's the position you want to propel your channel, where all you're focusing on is presenting your content. Everything else becomes secondary, really irrelevant. That's the position you want to be at as a content creator. I can remember in the infancy stage of my YouTube channel, I'm going to be honest with you, I was worried about watch hours and subscribers and memberships and brand. Yeah, I was worried about all that. But when you put your faith in God and He put your channel at a level that you could have never imagined, then it just frees you up to focus on maintaining that balance. You can focus on creating your content or not, and deplugging and enjoying the rest of your day. That balance is so important. But I did notice in 2023, it's just like my channel, I can remember, seeing like my channel, I remember this now. I can remember as early 2023, I had 1,200 subscribers. I remember this because I was talking to a colleague of mine about it. I can clearly remember I only had 1,200 subscribers in early 2023. But when I came from that guided tour in Cairo, Egypt, and did all that powerful live footage, my channel literally jumped from 1,200 to like 200,000 like overnight. It's like my channel, it's like God pushed my channel into a whole nother stratosphere, and it was unbelievable. And then from that 200 went to 300 and 400 and on. I remember when I hit the first 100,000 subscribers. That's the criteria as a content creator, with some other criterias. But in order for your channel to be awarded the YouTube Silver Play Button Award, and I got that award, you have to get that first 100,000 subscribers. Your channel can have no violations or strikes on your channel within 365 days. All of your content has to be original. It can be no violation of copyright laws. And YouTube will examine your channel. And when my channel met all those criterias, YouTube sent me an application in my YouTube studio. I had to go in and fill out that application and submit it. Then YouTube analyzed my channel up and down. They spent a couple of weeks analyzing your videos, analyzing your channel, making sure you've met all those criteria. It's not about just that first 100,000 subscribers. It's also about making sure you have not violated any of those community guidelines, making sure you're not violating copyright laws. They're going to dissect all of your shorts and your videos and everything. And all of your content has to be original, and the list goes on and on. And once they have verified that you have met all those criterias as a content creator, then they're going to award your channel that YouTube Silver Play Button Award. So my channel was awarded that YouTube Silver Play Button Award a couple of years ago. And so that's when I began to notice all of that coming together after I returned from that guided tour in Cairo, Egypt, which was a spiritual journey. And then later on, that's when I think when my channel hit 300,000 plus subscribers, it was just like brand deals were coming at me. But just because companies send you a brand deal, the power of this and what I like about it is I don't say yes to everything. All money ain't good money. Just because that company send you a brand deal, there's an area in my YouTube studio where they can go in and look at specific analytics that's not privy to the public eye. But just like that company is checking my channel out, if they send me a brand deal, I'm going to also check out that company, because if that company primary mission, goals, and objective ain't in line with my vision, in my spirituality, in my values, you can either say yes or no to the brand deal. And I have said no to many of them, because all money ain't good money, people. Because like I said earlier, don't let money be your primary focus. Real talk. Do not let money as a content creator be your primary focus. You got to have a higher vision. You got to have a mission, goals, and objective. You got to know the what behind what you do in relation to your content. You got to be guided by the spirit. Real talk. That's the only way. That is the only way it is going to work. That is the only way you're going to maintain the longevity in YouTube house, because it is YouTube house. As a content creator, we are in their house, and we have to abide by their rules. Real talk. So again, I'm just so excited in regards to the direction God is continuously taking my channel. And again, we are considered, if your channel is monetized, we are considered independent contractors by evidence. They send us this 1099 at the end of the year to reflect our yearly earnings. And whatever money you spend as a content creator on equipment or anything is a 100% business write-off. Turn it all over to your CPA. So again, I just want to thank everyone for listening in. I really do appreciate that. Hype this video, share out this video. There are many content creators right now, whether their channel's monetized or not, they really might need to hear this. Real talk. They really might need to hear this. So that's all I have. Simplify, simple fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.